What's good, video pros? So video editing, when I first got into it, y'all, I tell you, man, I caused a lot of problems for myself. I mean, it was 4 things I wish I would have known. You know, I'm thinking here that my computer's crashing because it's too old, it's outdated. I need to buy a bigger computer. I need to spend more money, and I did those. I did go out, I did buy myself a $2,000 Mac, and things were still crashing. But throughout time, I learned these 4 things, and since I've been doing these 4 things, y'all, I haven't had as many crashes. Not saying the system don't still crash. Number 1, organizing your footage, keeping all your footage in one place. Back in the day, I was using drives like this. I think it was like a terabyte, and these have spinning disks inside. It's like a laptop drive. I'm talking a few years back, and these were great. I mean, get you like a little connector like this, and just plug this right into your actual computer, and you're ready to go. So I would use these drives to edit off of. I would use the same drive to back up the footage. I actually lost a lot of footage and lost some files using a drive like this, simply because I just dropped it on the ground. It stopped working, y'all, because it's spinning disks in here, and once that hard drive crashes, that is it. You know, you can spend some money and have someone retrieve it, but it's costly. But now we have what we call these SSD drives. These things are wonderful. These are more like memory cards, so if you drop these, there's no real moving parts in here, so it's not going to destroy your footage. But let's get to setting it up. Now, I have a drive here. Let's go right over here, and this is my 5 terabyte, and this is a regular spinning disk drive. I back up all my footage here, and for editing I have this SSD drive right here. It's about a 1 terabyte. Now, why is this important? Because when working with any project, let me just open up a new project here. When I come here and I go down to project settings and scroll all the way down, we can select where our project media is located. Now, again, I'm going to work off of one drive, which is my LVision drive, and I already have quite a few folders set up here, but I'm just going to click here and say open. So number 2, we have right here a option for your proxy location. Now, proxies are a smaller file for you to use when doing your editing. So if you're working with some 4K, 6K footage, you may want to create a proxy. It's a smaller file. We'll get into all that in a little bit. But moving on, we have our cache file location. You can set that up to the same drive, like I mentioned. Have one drive for everything, and then your still gallery, your photos, anything like that, set that up to that same drive. So everything's on this drive waiting for you. Even if you had to, run to another computer and do your edits, you have it. You have all your footage, you have your proxies, you have your cache files, everything right here. Now, so set this up using the SSD. I'll leave a link in the description to all this. All right, but keeping it moving, let's take out the time now and create some proxy media. It's pretty simple. Just go to your footage, right click on it, come down to proxy media, and generate proxy media. Click there, and just like that, you have proxy media. Number 2 is setting up what they call power bins. Now, what is a power bin? Let me show you what that is real quick. Sorry, clicking here. If you don't see power bins open, just come up here to these 3 dots and click on power bin, and it should open. Smart bins are good too, but we're not going to get into that today. I don't really use them, but they are good. Now that we see our power bin, as you can see, all my music is here. The music that I'm going to use in every project, it comes along with me. Graphics that I'm going to use in all these projects is right here waiting on me. Logos, everything. It's right here in what we call power bins. All right, so even memes, I have some memes here. All this comes along with me. Now again, it'll be saved on this drive, but it'll actually show up in every project I open. Power bins are your friend. So how do we add files to a power bin? Alright, so I'm going to go to the drive that I'm using for all my editing, and I already set up a folder, but create a folder called Power Bin Files, and you want to add all the files to this folder. Okay, so now we're ready to import some files into our Power Bin. I'm going to come in, I'm going to actually add something to my means folder. We're going to right click on it and come down to import media. And let's navigate to that actual folder. So again, we're coming to the LVision drive, which is my drive that I'm working off of, and we're going to go to the Power Bin, and we want to bring in a new meme. So click there, and let's just do action. And there we have it. It'll always be with me. So I just want to show you Power Bins. That's number 2. Number 3, we have what we call a project template, and this is something you want to set up. It'll just speed up your process when it comes down to doing your edits. Now, for instance, if I open up a new project, as you can see up here, I have nothing on the master, so I have to come in here, click, and then I can create a bin. Now you can create your bins for your footage, for your actual music, and you can create quite a few bins if needed. But why do that when you can just use what we call a template? So I created this template right here called project template, and I'm just going to click and open it in read only mode, and I'll show you why in a second. So now that I have a template, I have all my folders already set up. There's no need for me to type in any of this. My folders are here waiting on me. My timelines are here waiting on me. They're already set up. If I needed to do 4K, if I needed to do a HD timeline, and if I needed to do a vertical timeline, they're all here waiting on me. Also logos, I don't have anything loaded because, as I mentioned down here, if I needed to bring in logos, I can actually drag and drop the logo that I need for that video, and when I go into logos, it's here waiting on me. All right, so templates are good for that reason. Power Bins are our friend. That's number 2, and number 3 is creating these templates. But how do we create one? All right, so we're going to come into Untitled Project. I'm going to open that on up, and here we have it. So what we're going to do is create new bins. Again, we can create one for footage, and then we can create another one for music, and press OK. And then if you needed another, let's just say effects, there we have it. Now that we set up all our bins, the next thing we want to do is come up here and save as. Let's click save. Alright, so in order to open up our new project template, we'll come out and we'll click on open and read mode only. Now, as you can see, all our folders are here. Now, the reason I decided to open it in read only mode is because any changes that I make in this project, it's going to remind me once I close out to save and give it a name. Alright, so save whatever project name you need and click OK. And there we have it, y'all. Just like that, you created a template. Alright, the last but not least thing that I wish I was doing before I went out and spent all this money on a brand new computer. I want you to try this first, especially if you're having problems and you get a little frustrated when it comes down to doing editing because your computer keeps crashing. Even though you're using DaVinci, whether it is the studio version or the free version, you're still having some issues. Try this. For that, I'm going to need to open up another actual project, and that's right here, matching camera footage. So here we go. All right, let's go to footage. We have transcoded because we want to transcode our footage. And why? Let me show you. So my original files, as you can see, are right here, but I have what we call 3 different types from 3 different cameras. And yes, you can actually just drop this down into your timeline and the software will do the work for you. But it can be very stressful with your computer for several different reasons. One, different cameras may shoot in different formats. I mean, it may be the same, let's say, codecs, but it may use different formats. And what I mean by that, right here, formats. As you can see, this video here is a .m4v. All right, and then over here we have some footage from my DJI Osmo, which is a .mp4. All right, and these are formats. I'm not talking about the codecs. And then we have this other camera here, which is from my Canon 7D, and this was a .move. All right, so yes, I can drop all these down in my timeline and let the computer, work its magic, but it's going to need to transcode, or it's going to need to work with different formats. For instance, so if it's transcoding things for this type of format and I go to drop this down, now I need to switch over and do something different for this type of format, and so on and so forth. So what do? We highlight all three of these and we come up here to File, and we're going to go down to Media Management, and here's where we can transcode this footage. You definitely want to let it know if you're going to be copying this footage, which you can do at this point, if you want to make a backup copy. And then we have an option to transcode. All right, now we're not using a timeline, we're not using an entire project, we're using clips, because it's these 3 clips here that we want to transcode. All right, so the first thing you want to do is set up your location on where you want this footage to be sent to. So I'm going to pick here, and again, this is my drive that I use to work off of. Right here I have a folder called Match Camera Footage Fast. So again, transcoded footage, we are saving it, so we're going to save it here. You're going to open up that folder, and now as you can see, it knows to save it to that actual folder. Okay, so now that that's set up, I'm going to come down here to settings. Now we're going to use all media. All right, so as you can see, it went from 1.8 gigs to 3.6 gigs. All right, and I already set these up, I already transcoded the footage, so we're not going to need to do that, but I do want to run through the settings for you. Now we're going to transcode, meaning we want to transform this footage into a certain format so it's even across the board. Now we can choose just QuickTime, we can make everything an MP4, and so on. Whatever you need it for your actual project, you can pretty much do here. Now that's under format. Now codecs, here we go. This is the big one here. Now if you're on a actual PC, or if you need small files, H.264 is good. I believe all these already have the codecs of H.264. We'll double check that in a sec. But anyway, if I needed to make this file a little bit better, I can go with Apple ProRes. But as you can see, look at the gigabytes it's going to create. And if you needed to, you can. But there's no real need to. Even with me working on a Mac, I just saved this as a H.264. And there we have it. So I already transcoded the footage. It's already ready for us. But if you needed to, you just go on the audio tab, make sure your audio settings are set to your likings, and then you will press start. So we're going to go into this transcoded footage, and as you can see, our main camera footage is now a .move. This is a .move. This is a .move. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if we needed to find out more about this actual footage, we'll click on video, and then we're going to go to file. It's already a codec of H.264, and we have 60 frames or 59 frames. All right, now let's go ahead to this first camera. As you can see, that's also already H.264, and it's at 24 frames. And then the last one here, my Canon 7D, is also already at a codec of H.264 at 29 frames. So I have different frame rates here, which is okay. As long as you set the frame rate on your timeline, it's going to use the frame rate that you requested to use. So if you have 60 frames, it's going to knock it down to 24. If you have 30 frames, it's going to knock it down to 24 on your timeline. Okay, this is good. So that is the last thing right there, transcoding footage. So 1, again, organizing your footage. 2 would be to create power bends. Number 3 would be to create what we call a template. You know what I mean? And then number 4 would be to transcode your footage. And now, this has definitely helped me, and I hope it helps y'all. Try this out before you run out and buy a new computer. See if this helps with your editing process. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know. Leave it in the comments. If you know of a better way, show me. Talk to us here on the channel. Leave it in the comments. Let's just share the knowledge, y'all. That's what it's all about. Remember to capture those moments and do the best with what you have. Till next video, y'all. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button.